We're following breaking news on the Near East Side of Indianapolis, where police are investigating a triple shooting at this hour. Alex Almanza joins us live tonight from 10th and Sherman. So, Alex, you just talked with police. What are they telling you?
Scott, police tell me that this all began around 6:40 this evening, and they got the call to the CVS drugstore behind me. When officers arrived, they found two women with gunshot wounds. They are reported to be in stable condition. Police say that they then got another call to a nearby hospital, and that's where they found a third victim, a man with gunshot wounds. He is also reported to be stable. But IMPD says preliminary information suggests that this happened inside the CVS store and spilled outside. They confirmed the store was open at the time and there were people inside, suggesting that there were multiple witnesses.
Another senseless act of violence. Anytime someone is shot and or killed in our city, obviously affects all of us. And so as we continue to talk about conflict resolution, getting along, things of that nature, we impress upon the public to do that.
Adding to that, IMPD also says that anyone with even the slightest bit of information to help detectives to call Crime Stoppers at 262-TIPS. You can remain anonymous and you do not have to give your name. This investigation is, of course, still in the very early stages. There are going to be a lot of questions about how this started in the first place. We're going to be sure to connect you with that information as soon as we get it. Scott?
All right, Alex, hopefully police will be getting leads soon. We're going to be following this story closely for you overnight. You'll be able to see any breaking development on Sunrise starting tomorrow morning at 4 o'clock. Well, it seems like everywhere you turn, it seems you run into opposition for a proposed AES rate hike from customers to state and city leaders. And now AES is firing back in a new response to the Indiana Office of Utility Consumer Counselor. Tonight, our Logan Gay is digging into that story and how city county councilors are now thinking big when it comes to saving Hoosiers money.
AES filed a 108-page rebuttal, still pushing for that rate increase, but city leaders are seeking alternatives to keep things affordable for ratepayers. Indianapolis City County councilors say any decision made about the proposed AES rate hike should be grounded in putting Hoosiers' livelihoods first.
The cost of living is going up. What impacts every sector of that? Electricity, power. And they're sitting here and they're draining more and more out of folks, and their profits are getting bigger and bigger.
Because of this, some counselors like Michael Paul Hart are starting to think outside of the box to help Hoosiers find relief, which could include the city once again being the energy provider and buying AES.
The state allows us through statute to buy back our utility. So in our case, it's AES, and the way that we could buy it back is by issuing bonds.
For right now, this is just an idea. Hart says it would take a lot of work, research, and time for any action to be taken. But he says it's worth it if it would save Hoosiers some money on their energy bills.
If we're going to have to keep fighting private companies looking to raise their profits at the IURC, which is what we're going through with AES right now, then if it's in the ownership of a private-public partnership, then we could be in a better shape for cost controlling. It could be done, but we certainly need to go look at history to understand how we ended up back in this position.
So if this rate increase is approved, AES Indiana says in a statement it anticipates to remain among the lowest rates of any investor-owned utility in Indiana. In Indianapolis, Logan Gay, 13 News.
And you may have noticed from both Logan and Alex earlier, had a breeze there, and that's a cool north wind that helped to bring in some much cooler temperatures. If you haven't been outside in a while, the temperatures have dropped quite a bit. 50s for many of you, still some 60s hanging on. I think most of you will actually end up in the 40s overnight. The front has moved through, the rain has moved on. Now we see some cooler and drier air continuing to filter in. It's going to continue for tonight. The radar is quiet with the exception of the ground clutter that's being picked up. Clear skies for tonight. 40s for your overnight low temperature, 49, but there are going to be many locations to the north that get much cooler than that. Looking ahead to tomorrow, after a cool start, the sunshine will help to warm us up, but north or northwest winds will keep our temperatures in the 60s. Feels more like fall. We'll talk about how many more fall-like days we have in the 7-day coming up.
All right, Rob, we'll see you in a little bit. Tonight, a criminal and civil case are now playing out against former NFL quarterback and Fox Sports analyst Mark Sanchez. Tonight, we are hearing from the attorney who's representing the man who says Sanchez attacked him in an alley in downtown Indianapolis. Now, we want to warn you again, some of the images that you're going to see in this story are graphic. Now, as we first reported yesterday, the alleged victim, 69-year-old Perry Toll, is suing Mark Sanchez and Fox Corporation. This lawsuit claims that Sanchez was the instigator and Fox Corporation was negligent in hiring Mark Sanchez. That lawsuit also lays out the serious injuries sustained in the reported attack. These pictures show Toll in a hospital bed. You can see he's covered in blood and he's got lacerations. Eric May is one of Toll's attorneys.
A 69-year-old senior citizen, about 5'8", 165 pounds, and Mark Sanchez, by all accounts, is 6'2", 235. And you can see the devastation and the injuries that were caused to my client by Mr. Sanchez, and just what was an unexplainable violent attack.
The brother of Mark Sanchez issued a statement last night saying Mark was still getting medical care. Now, we did reach out to Fox Sports today for an update on if and when Mark Sanchez could return to work, but we have not heard back. Right now, a 21-year-old man is serving 2 years behind bars for a crash that killed 3 people. But a grandmother of one of those victims tells us that is not enough.
I said, that's not justice. It's not justice at all. That's a slap on the hand.
Brenda Hankins says her granddaughter was 21-year-old Michaela Hankins. Michaela died in that car crash near 10th and Midhofer 2 years ago. The driver, Luis Leyva Gonzalez, was going at least 100 miles per hour at the time. That crash also killed 2 of Leyva Gonzalez's family members who were in that car with him. Last Friday, a Marion County judge sentenced him to 2 years in prison.
What is this judge trying to tell other people now? That it's okay to go out and do the same thing and you're going to get a light sentence, which, oh yeah, I can do 2 years and be out.
Now, the Marion County prosecutor had called for Leyva Gonzalez to serve at least 25 years. Here's a look at the other stories making headlines right now. Tonight, police say they've identified remains found in southern Indiana as a woman missing from Indianapolis for nearly 30 years. Deanna Smith disappeared in 1999. Her remains were found 4 years later near Spencer, Indiana. Investigators say new technology helped make a match to her DNA. They're now treating this case as a homicide. So if you had any contact with Smith in 1999, please reach out to state police. Tonight, we're digging into newly unsealed court documents shedding light on a raid targeting a former IU professor. Our cameras were there as the agents raided Xiao Feng Wang's Carmel home in March. Now, according to these documents, the FBI was investigating research funding fraud. Investigators seized dozens of items. He is not charged with any crime. Tonight, a 26-year-old man is under arrest for a deadly shooting that happened in Bloomington late last month. Police got a call for a person shot near House Street and Morton Street, just south of downtown Bloomington. 29-year-old Sean Sullivan died at the hospital. Stephen Paul Dixon II tonight is charged with murder and criminal recklessness. Tonight, a Brown County canine is being called a hero for finding 2 missing kids. Knox and his handler got called out Sunday to search for a couple of 11-year-olds. They had gotten separated from their mom in Hoosier National Forest. The team helped lead other officers and volunteers to the kids. Remember, you can find all of our latest local stories anytime on our 13 News app.